Hello and welcome to Wisdom Bites. Hope you're well. Thank you once again for joining us. Much appreciated. We've got a very full program, simply looking at Bitcoin mostly here today, simply because of the elections that are ongoing and the impact and effect it's going to have on the Bitcoin price. But I'm going to have a look at the short term and the medium term with Bitcoin, as well as look at the impact that the elections may have in the coming days and weeks with the uncertainty that it's causing. So without further ado, let's get cracking, and I'll show you the chart first of all with the short-term movements. This is the 4-hourly chart that we're looking at, and as you can see, for the last few weeks we've been following this particular pattern from the end of July to August, and it's still panning out exactly in terms of the correlation. So as I showed you in the last video, we said that this is the pattern it's actually following. So if we look at it from here, this is the run up that we've had up to this red channel, that at the top of the red channel that we've been looking at when we zoom out. So this is basically where we came up to this point here, and then basically we created this W pattern twice, a double bottom or a triple bottom if you want to call it, which was this bit here up to that point. So we got to the top of the channel there. Then we created this from this pattern here, this double bottom pattern, which took us further, and then the final part of this 3-part chart pattern is this bit here, which is what I was showing you in the last video, that this is what it's panning out to be. So this is what we've just created, and I said at the end of the last video that this is what we're expecting, a capitulation. So don't worry about the prices being higher than what we expected. We were thinking that it was going to top out at around about the 13,200 level, but it went all the way up to the 14,000. But that gives us a great amount of information that the next time we move up to this point here, we can then take that into account, and we know exactly that we're actually now further on in the bull market than we were before. So we know that this has given us a lot of good information. So this is where we're at. So this is what I'm expecting now. If you take away these lines here, we're actually basically now at this point here, there, and this is where it's now topping off. So as you can see that we created this high here. This was the high at 14,200 approximately, and then that was this one here, and then we've now created a lower high here, and as you can see, this started to move downwards. So it's now following this trajectory all the way down to this level here. It will be when I reline the chart up again, I'll show you. Here we are. If I line the chart up here, it takes us all the way simply back down to the bottom of the channel, which is what we expected over here. When the market was rising, we said that this is going to be creating this pattern here, and it's been following this pattern all the way across. And now look, we have no reason to doubt this pattern because it hasn't actually stopped following this pattern yet, and until it does, we have to go with the trend of this pattern. So this is what the pattern is saying, that this is now the turn that we've just had here, and it looks like it's going to go to the bottom. And there are other indicators that are showing that this is what is the highest probability of what's going to happen in the next few days. And if we look at the 2 major indicators which I looked at last time, which I said to you that there was a capitulation. If we look at this on the daily chart, it gives us a better indication. So in the last video, I showed you that the yellow dot here, I don't know if you can see the wording there, it's very, very faint, and there's nothing I can do about that. But the yellow dot had actually just fired here at the top of this channel, which tells us that whenever this is a capitulation. It's usually either preceded or followed by a sideways movement or downward movement. And with the red channel forming there, that tells you that the heat is being taken out of the market. And coupled with that, there was a divergence, a bearish divergence on the RSI chart. So if you look at the RSI, as you can see from here, there, we've got a bearish divergence here, while at the same time here, the market was going up. Let me just put this in here as well. So while the market's been going up here, this has now created a bearish divergence, which basically means that there's going to now be pressure to push the market down. So these 2 indicators are telling us that this is now what we're going to be seeing, a downward pressure of the market. Let me get rid of this now so you can see more clearly. So we're here now, there's bearish divergence at this point, the capitulation has fired up, bearish divergence here, so there is a very strong pressure for the market to come back down to these levels here, and hopefully we'll be able to get the opportunity to rebuy back here. So depending on when we hit this red channel, we can buy back. It could be 11.1, which is what I'm expecting, because it's going to be a very rapid fall. As you saw with the chart pattern we're following, it's a very rapid fall in the next 3 to 5 days possibly. So that's basically in the short term. This is what we're expecting, a fall in the short term in the next 3 to 5 days to back to these levels at around about the 11.1 level. But if you look at the background, if you look at the overall picture, if we look at the, first of all, the monthly chart, one of the things that you see here with the monthly chart, if I take away all these lines, you can see quite clearly that, well, let me get it bigger actually for you. The red line tells you we closed the monthly candle here first time since December 2018. This was still the highest candle. We closed just below there. But what it's telling you is that we're well into the bull market. And once we get above this here, and I'm expecting this red candle, this current monthly candle of November, it may have a pullback, like I said, down to about 11.1. And then the following candle, December, we're expecting that one to be higher. This is the current situation. We're coming up to basically breaking this trend. So the December candle on the monthly chart is more than likely, with a high degree of probability, going to be higher than this one here. The November one is actually, looks like to me, might have a pullback, but then towards the end of November we may actually get a higher candle closing. So we'll wait and see for that, and only time will tell. Okay, so if you're looking for a trading platform to use and you haven't got one, or you've already got one and you want to add another one as an alternative, then please scroll down below our videos and you'll find that there's a tab here called Show More, and when you click on that you'll have all the information, including the affiliate link that we have here with Etoro. And what I've done is I've given you all the good reasons why they're such a fantastic platform to use. It's very easy to actually deposit and withdraw money, as well as to actually trade on the platform. So check that one out. Just coming back to the daily chart again and the hash ribbons, as you can see that whenever we have a capitulation in the past, within a few days or a week, we normally get a buy signal. So if you go back here, you get a capitulation, and then within a few weeks, you get a buy signal. Go back here, capitulation, buy signal, capitulation, buy signal. So whenever you get that, then you do get, look at that, look at this here, capitulation, a buy signal. So what I am expecting with this hash ribbons is that very, very shortly, once we've actually moved down to the bottom of this channel, this yellow will turn into a buy signal around about here. So we'll wait and see. We'll have to just play this out, and then this will be the opportunity to buy. Obviously, please remember, this is not financial advice. You have to make up your own decision. This is exactly what I'm doing, and if you find this valuable, then fine. But please use my information in conjunction with the other videos that you're watching, so that you get a huge amount of pool of knowledge, and then you can make the best decision based on that. So I can only tell you what I'm doing on this channel here at Wisdom Bytes. So this is what I'm seeing, that, as you know, from the, if we zoom out on the longer picture, as I've shown you before, we're in this channel here. There we go, with our target of 300,000. So we're in this channel currently. This is a pre-parabolic bull run that we're having. So before the parabolic rise from about April next year, we're going to be in this pre-parabolic channel, which we've been in the past. And I've shown you that in the previous videos, that we just have to play this out. And as you can see quite clearly, if you look at the pattern, where is it going? It's going like that. And it's going to be around about here, where it's going to be critical, where it's going to have to make a decision that does it go one more time to the bottom of the channel, or does it actually then shoot straight into the parabolic phase? So maybe events outside of Bitcoin may be determining a bit of that, or giving it influence. But certainly this is where we've got to be careful. I think the next time we get down to the bottom of the channel, it may be prudent and more sensible just to basically buy and then just hold throughout the period from here all the way up, because we really don't know what's going to happen here. But however, we will get opportunities in this channel, obviously at certain key strategic price levels, which I've been saying to you over the last year or so now, that we will get opportunities at the key strategic price levels, like your 50,000, your 100,000, 150,000, etc. And then the price will come back to the weekly 21 exponential moving average. And if we have a look at the 21 weekly, we can see quite clearly where these channels fit in with that. Okay, so this is the 21 weekly exponential moving average. This is the yellow line there. And as you know from previously, as I've shown you, that in the bull market, in this parabolic rise, as you saw in the previous bull market up to 2018, the yellow line, the 21 weekly exponential moving average, time and time again, whenever it moves further away, it comes back down as a support. So it goes up here, comes back down here, goes above there, comes back to the support line again down here. So it gives you around about 7 to 9 opportunities to do that. And we've drawn the channel. So how does our channel fit into this 21 weekly exponential moving average? Let me put those and superimpose those on here. And lo and behold, our channel is running, the bottom part of the channel is running at the support of this 21 weekly exponential moving average. So this tells us that this channel that we've drawn is extremely accurate, that we are actually moving. Once we get up to the top of the channel, it has a tendency to come back and test the support on the 21 weekly moving average, as it did there. And look, where we are over here at the moment, and the chances are now that we're going to be coming back down and retesting the bottom of the channel here when this yellow line, the 21 weekly exponential moving average, collides with it. So it looks like it's a very accurate picture of where we're heading. So please don't take your mind off the bigger picture. This is what I've always said to you over the last year, that forget about what many people are saying about the short-term pictures, what have you. We must keep in mind this bigger overall picture. Our intention, our objective, our vision, our target is to make $300,000 per Bitcoin, and we're on the way there. And this is where we started way back a year ago. So we've been having this channel from there, and I've been talking about this 4-year cycle, that this is the part of the 4-year cycle that we've got, and we'll be going towards the end of that 4-year cycle at the end of next year with a target of around 300,000. So we're well on the way there. All the indicators are still pointing in that direction. So until something changes, something significant happens, we've got no reason to change our view. I just want to give you my insight into the current USA elections. I'm not political in any way, shape or form. I don't have any particular leaning towards any particular party. My interest is only really the economy and how these elections are going to have an impact on the markets, and which then will obviously have an effect on the Bitcoin price and what have you. So what the market, as you know, if you've been in this market for many years, or if you've got some previous experience of the stock markets around the world, you will know that the one thing that the markets do not like is uncertainty. And when there is uncertainty, the markets have a habit of going down. So what you can expect, and what I've been looking at in the UK, the way news has been reported, is that there's going to be a very tight election here, and both parties seem to be interested in going to the Supreme Court, which will then cause more confusion and more uncertainty and more time before a definitive answer to who wins the election comes about. Now, for the markets, that is really bad news, and all we can say is that if there is this uncertainty in the next few days, then the markets more than likely are going to be coming down. So yesterday, that was the 3rd of November when the voting was being cast, we obviously had a green candle here. But now the uncertainty is more than likely is going to cause a fall in the market. This uncertainty is going to, so we can expect the Dow Jones to be falling down today when it opens at around about 2:30 our time. That's about 4.5 hours time from where we are now. So I'm expecting the Dow Jones to fall down. The SP index, the SP 500, again, very, very similar. This is yesterday's close. Looks like it's going to be coming down. So we'll be able to cover that in the next video. And if you look at the dollar, as you can see, the dollar today, the uncertainty in the market has caused the dollar to spike up. And what this is telling you is, if this has gone up, then we can expect the Dow Jones index to close lower. So really, there isn't any much more else we can cover. We'll just have to wait until the election actually plays itself out. You know, let's see how it processes itself and see who the winner is at the end of the next few days, and we'll be in a better position. But certainly the uncertainty is going to be causing the Bitcoin price to be coming down in the next few days, and then it all depends on here. We did have a look at the junk bond market. We can see that it's actually risen for whatever reason yesterday. So maybe the bond market was expecting a more definitive result. So it'll be very interesting to know what happens today. So this is yesterday's close. If the uncertainty continues, and remember, this is a junk bond market, they get jittery very, very quickly. Any uncertainty and they get very jittery. So I am expecting, again, the junk bond market, and I showed you in the last few videos that if we actually go below this level here, 82.5, once we get below this level, if this market came back down here, we're going to have a free fall, and this will more than likely trigger off all the stock markets to go lower, and then we could end up with having a major crash on our hands. And if that's the case, then Bitcoin may not just stop at this junction here. It may go much lower than that, and we'll have to just visit that and see how the feel of the market is at that time. Certainly nobody knows the future, and we can only judge by what the situation and circumstances and the position of the other markets is and the economy nearer the time. All we can do is that we can revisit this in the next few days when there is a little bit more definitive news about the outcome of the USA election. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.